Gods be good. Volk is about to get KO'd again at UFC 314 Miami. I know he probably will do, but you know what, chat? There's a voice deep in my head telling me, you know, that Volk was kind of doing his thing against Ilya in that first fight, and maybe Ilya won't be as motivated, and maybe this time Volkanovski with a full training camp without coming off of an injury against Makhachev in the rematch and a KO loss might just have enough to get it done in the rematch against Ilya Topuria. This is the games that we play in our heads as MMA fans. God, I want to pick Volk in the rematch for some dumb reason. Birds chirping. I got banned off Fight Pass. What the hell's going on? I had to make a whole new account. Pissing me off. Thank you for the $2. Fat. I appreciate your $2. Spinning Backfist tweeted, MMA Guru, the first guy to ever be banned from UFC Fight Pass. We won't sleep until he gets justice. I don't know what they're playing at on Fight Pass, but let me in! Let me in! I need to do research for my prediction video, and they won't let me in Fight Pass, dude. Thank you for the $1, Isabel Robles. Yuri Praska arguing for legalizing groin strikes and eye pokes on JRE was crazy. He was advocating for that, wasn't he? Also says he can make middleweight. He can. He weighed in at 208 for his fight with Jamal Hill. 208. He cut 3 pounds for that fight. I knew he was light, though, because I remember once for the Glover fight or something, he weighed 211. And that was like, what? He only cut 6 pounds. But yeah, he's very light. He could go for middleweight. Let's go for that. Thoughts on Yuri advocating for legal eye pokes? Based. Yeah, he doesn't even go for him. Based. You getting another DDP interview before UFC 312? Yeah, Yuri's eye poke stance is you should have dodged it, basically. Like, if he's enough to like land a finger in your eye, then you're not doing good enough defensively. Which I don't mind the take of, but obviously you shouldn't allow it in the sport. You get another DDP interview? I don't know. I haven't reached out at all. I might try and get the Strickland interview. I'm not sure. How long before the GFL goes bankrupt and or gets revealed as a money laundering scheme? There's no logic to the way they're running their business already. They're just like every other MMA promotion, criminal. I don't know, I want to make those though, but that might be where they make their profit, suing me. But it's interesting strategy for a company. You know what I mean? I bet they're annoyed that PFL made a big noise when they were doing that whole GFL weekend thing. Rampage IG story. Chandler's kids got his rims. No, I don't. Stop cheering me up with Chandler's kids jokes, guys. Let's stop fucking Rampage Jackson IG. Is it just going to be that his rims have been stolen by Kevin Holland or something? And what's the joke? If I was a materialistic person, I'd be mad. I'm only upset because I just copped some Lexani rims a few days ago and got a new wrap done. Heads up to the guys that stole her. I'm a child of the Most High, and everyone that screws me over gets bad karma. Somebody robbed Rampage Jackson's rims, basically. Thank you for the $5. If Conor came back, who would his opponent be, and what would his most winnable fight be, and how would he win? I think it would be a Poirier quadrilogy if he were to come back this year towards the start or middle. His most winnable fight would be against, I don't know, man, some fucking bottom feeder lightweight. You mean amongst like the top dogs that are reasonable as an opponent for him? I think out of all of the top dogs right now, the most reasonable and approachable matchup for Conor McGregor is probably like Dan Hooker or something like that. Or Gaethje. I think Gaethje is a nice matchup for him. I think he would lose, but it's a good matchup. I'm going to crash. I can see it. What do you think, chat? Should I show up at Orban Elliott's gym and fucking give him a fucking what for? I've been getting threatened by his teammates. What we saying, chat? I might go fuck him up, dude. I got this voice note threatening me. I might have to go down there and fucking bash their heads together, you know what I mean? You seem sad, I am. This is the threat I got. From one of Orban Elliott's teammates. And by the way, this gym's only a few hour drive. Let me come down there and fucking ragdoll these lot. I'm telling you, this is the threat I got.
Listen, yeah, no, Guru. Get that fucking beanie of yours down to SMMA. Me fire no by on a Shark Tank in you. Let's see what you're about. You soft cunt.
You know, I make it clap. Believe me.
These are the fucking voice notes I'm getting from these guys. I'm heading down and I'm going to beat their ass in front of Screwfix. That's what's happening. Okay? Believe me. You know. Believe me. Run it, Guru. That's sexual harassment. That is literally a sexual threat. Is it not, chat? That is honestly a sexual threat. And I won't stand for it, dude. I'm going to have to go down there and teach him a fucking lesson at Shore MMA. Honestly. We'll be throwing hands right outside of Screwfix. Don't test me, dude. And that fucking transport company on the other side of the road. Don't think I don't know. Thank you for the $5. JRE fighter interviews aren't great. Things you do. I don't wanna run around. I actually had it 3-2 Usman. Who got the point deduction again? I had it 3-2 Usman Nurmagomedov. And I guess it could have been a draw if they took a point. I don't know how they had it so clearly Usman that even with the point deduction, he still got a win. That's kind of insane, right? Even with the point deduction, 48-46 is kind of fucking insane. So it's kind of insane. Hughes can't win. He can't win, but a draw would have been fine. But they're in Abu Dhabi, so they're going to praise their boy because they ain't got nothing else in combat but them. That one family. The only judge that gave it a draw was Muslim, of course. Even he was held accountable in his faith. You know, he wasn't so easy to pay off. Thank you for the membership, One Trick Jabroni. I appreciate you. Hughes nearly 1, 2, 3, 4. Clearly 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought you could have got it. But I don't know. I'm okay with a draw or with the point deduction. Is it me or did Hughes miss a lot? Seen it in his last fight too. Might just be the jitters or he has an accuracy issue. A lot of arm punches. Yeah, he does. But the thing is with Hughes is he throws regardless if it's there or not. Like Hughes does a lot of things where he's going to throw the combination. He doesn't do a lot of adjustments in the moment, you know? Like Hughes will be like, if he throws at me, I'm going to throw this 3-punch combination. But he won't like see that he's been thrown on and be like, this combination would work here. I'm going to go for that next time he does it. He just does set pieces in his fights quite a bit. So he ends up catching shoulders and arms and all that. Hughes won 4 rounds on damage. Usman was throwing out naked kicks, which were easily getting defended. He was tapping him with his toes a lot, yeah. I think Hughes is a future UFC champion. I don't think that. It was a great fight, though. I don't think future UFC champ. I did notice a difference between the UFC and PFL. But it was a good PFL fight. It was. I don't know, though, man. Thank you for the $5. Like, does Paul Hughes beat Fiziev in a 3-rounder? What do you guys think? Like, maybe not now Fiziev, but like in his prime. I don't know. Thoughts on you? I don't think they look that big at lightweight. I feel like our lightweights in the UFC are a lot bigger for the weight class. I told my friend that Moicano beats both Usman and Hughes. They are probably like top 20 or 20 in the top 10 to 20 in the world at lightweight. I don't think they're like the top dogs at lightweight. Like, no, that's not the case. So yeah, I do think they would like Moicano gives Mohammed like, why do I keep saying Mohammed Usman? Moicano gives Usman Nurmagomedov problems. 100%. They scrap it out. You know what I mean? You might win. Give it a $10. I was listening to Rogan and Yuri podcast, and then Rogan started talking about wanting MMA in a basketball court again. I know. What is wrong with that buffoon? Wants to transform MMA into a karate point match. Joe Rogan has just had this take recently of like the realism over everything, like the realist situation we can get. But it's like he has no understanding of like what needs to be done to make it like a profitable, watchable sport. You got to put him in a cage. You know what I mean? I don't know what Rogan wants, but yeah. Alessi Zaleski is overrated. Slept. He's underrated. Yeah, he is massively underrated. There's a few fighters like that. Who was I thinking that was very underrated the other day? I was thinking of this fighter that's very underrated that doesn't get enough respect. I can't remember who it was. Oh, Anthony Pettis. I think Anthony Pettis is pretty underrated. They are trying to kill Bobby Green. Anthony Pettis, Jack, KO'd Wonderboy on the feet and submitted Charles Oliveira on the ground. It's pretty insane when you think about it like that. On top of the fact that he was a champion, a defending champion, you know, even though he didn't hold it for very long. He was a pretty big deal, and people sort of overlooked that. Thank you for the $20. Jesus, what a risky name. Hot take. Sugar Marab rematch isn't bad matchmaking. Marab clearly needs to be put out to lose, basically, and Sean had him sincerely hurt in round 5. He did, but I would love to see a rematch between Yan and O'Malley first, and then the winner get a fight with Marab. I'm not a fan of only when there's no other contenders in a division does the champion all of a sudden want to start being active. That's what I don't agree with. You know what I mean? Makashev's got no more contenders. All of a sudden, he's just got to be there in June, you know, after being once a year or maybe twice a year at a push. So I don't mind the matchmaking if they're in a rush, but they should take their time. If the champion's cleared out his division, he earned a fucking holiday, you know, take some time. Who should Poirier fight? I don't know. Poirier should fight a fresh opponent that he hasn't fought yet. That's a big name. I think he'd be mugged at welterweight, so I don't want to see that. I want to see Dustin Poirier versus fucking Pimblage, Paddy Pimblage. Honestly, I can't think of another opponent that makes sense that he hasn't already fought. Paddy Pimblage. If Pimblage wins his next fight, do Pimblage versus Poirier. They could do it right now. It'd be number 4 versus number 12. It's not that far-fetched. I insult MMA Central to bring back the intro, please. You want me to fucking terminate your channel, do you?